All right. Hey, y'all. How many weeks has it been? Like 3?
Yeah, I want to. No, 2 weeks.
2?
Yeah,
I think it's been
right.
3.
We missed the last 2 episodes of.
Now we missed 3 because it was like the 7.5 week we didn't do one, and then like
Oh
8,
right.
9. So I think it's been like 3 weeks. It was only supposed to be 2, but it ended up being 3 because we both moved.
I'm sorry, y'all. Right, we had things to do.
Yeah, we both moved, and then like it's been a mess. And I had a market last week for MomoCon, which was great. Like a pre-MomoCon market, which was great. So being productive, that's a lot of the reason why it just hasn't been happening. So we've had a lot happen the past couple weeks and a lot of episodes that we have missed. But you've been watching Free Ring. You caught up, right? Are you caught up?
Oh, of course, which is so hilarious. I'm saying of course when I had such 180 opinions when I first started.
Right.
Crazy.
So you've been watching that. And I gotta watch that, and I've been watching A Sign of Affection and enjoying that. I've still been trying to do my Saturday streams. We're supposed to be starting Beastars next, watching that on Twitch together, so that should be fun. So yeah, I'm trying to get back into it, but I have a sinus infection as y'all can hear. But I'm on the tail end of it, but it's like every time I'm like, okay, I can stream again, like something happens. So and also the internet here is like it don't be internet in like my other internet. So like if I start getting choppy, just know that's what's going on. So
I like your little background. That's really cute.
Well,
thought of that.
We'll put some in the back because I'm like we in a new spot, and I'm just in a spot right now. So it's like a cat litter box back there and like some book bags. It's not really aesthetic, so I'm just like it's not giving. So we just gonna
I think I'm giving you
it's giving
eggshell. I'm giving you eggshell.
It's like confession. It's like real world confession booth or something. Like you know how they come on.
It's very that. Yeah, very that.
What do they call those? Like the confessionals?
The confessionals.
Yeah, that's what they call them. Yeah. So it's giving confessional.
I feel like I hear my voice echoing too.
Really?
Like not in the microphone, but like in my actual. Because I'm still waiting on furniture. Still got to get more furniture, so I don't got a lot to break up the sound.
Oh yeah, so it's kind of like just bouncing everywhere.
A little bit.
I get it. It be like that sometimes. That is not what I put. I'm sorry. I'm just making sure I put this, and I'm going on YouTube. Are we okay? We're not frozen. Okay. I'm just making sure. So yeah, we have a lot to catch up on. So what are we on? Episode 10 of Solo Leveling now, right?
Yes, we are. Episode 10. I think we got 2 episodes before it's gone.
Right.
I think we got 12, right?
They said 12. I'm still holding out hope that we get a little bit more.
Yeah, like towards the end of the year, December or something.
Yeah, because I just feel like it's not enough. But I feel like a lot has happened though.
Yeah, a lot of growth. A lot of growth has taken place. A lot of evolution. A lot of introspection for a lot of characters, not just Jinwoo.
That's true. So let's go ahead and I guess get into. So we had that review episode. I watched that. It was cute, and I enjoyed watching that review episode. I have to say, like it was cute seeing some of the highlights, and this is where it brought us. I actually enjoyed it more than I thought I would. So I did watch that. And then we got episode 8. So remind us what happened on episode 8.
So episode 8. So what happened? So at the end of episode 7, before the 0.5 episode, he had discovered that the cure, or that a cure that could wake his mom up, that is hidden in the next part of the S-Ring dungeon that he unlocked. But he has to collect the ingredients, and he has at least enough self-awareness to realize that I'm not ready for that right now, because I feel like episode 4, Sung Jin just opening up gates and walking in without a care in the world probably would have been like, well, I did beat the boss. I did beat this gatekeeper. Why not keep going? So there's at least a little bit of discernment when it comes to seeing the amount of.
I think you saw how he struggled with the Hellhound. I think he realized he struggled really bad in that fight. So he probably was like, yeah, I'm not ready. Yeah,
because that whole arm almost got ripped off again.
yeah,
He loved losing that arm.
Sanjay Wu gonna lose a limb. I mean, he gonna lose a limb, but he got, and I like that. I mean, that's cool. It's like, well, if you got a character who can kind of heal themselves, like they have what was it called, the recovery? Like, yeah, I'm gonna make them. I think that makes it more fun to me. If I was like animating something, because now I could just put you through all kind of excruciating, crazy stuff, and then you'll just be right back.
That full recovery in the back pocket, right?
Yeah.
I mean, but I wonder if that's going to come into play at like the amount that, because he mentioned that he was storing these from his daily, well, not from his daily challenges, but from whenever time he leveled up, he didn't use them right away. So I wonder if there's going to, that's going to come into play later.
Yeah, that's true. I hope not, because I enjoy them. I enjoy seeing them put him through all kind of stuff just to give him full recovery to come back. So episode 8 was,
I mean, it was kind of 8 was kind of a setup for episode 9 for the most part. I mean, there was some movement. There was him having his lunch with Jinho, which we finally saw the condition for him actually doing the raid thing, the 20 raid endeavor.
Mm-hmm. What was the condition? I can't remember what the condition
was. It was that them two are the only ones that are going to go into the gates alone.
Okay, yeah.
Moving forward.
Yeah.
Which is just already sounds like a right, but it already sounds like a terrible plan, considering not like they're in danger. I mean, of course they're not in danger, but it's like you need to fulfill the other spots. If you're doing a less successful version of the strike team you defeated, because now you got 6 people just chilling outside. Like that's not gonna. Nobody's like, can nobody see the gate just closing after 2 people walk out? Like,
I mean, I guess we're gonna get to that, because we got to see the payoff for that genius plan, I guess.
Yeah, but he accepted. And he offered him, I mean, essentially the whole headquarters. 30, what is it? 30
it was a $30 billion building.
Yeah, that's a lot of money.
Why does Sanjay Wu which is also one question. It's like Sanjay Wu is like, I want a building, or I guess it's just we'll get to that on episode 10. Mm-hmm. But I just he offered him a building, and Sanjay Wu was obviously like, this is how I'm gonna level up, because like we talked about, he's not just getting these dungeons. I think we start episode, which one where it kind of talked about the daily challenges weren't going over anymore, because there was one.
Oh, that was in the most recent episode.
Yeah, so he was like, he kind of unlocked that one by doing more than he needed to for the daily workout, but that stopped. So it kind of worked out the way we talked about in the previous episodes, where it would just make sense for him to work with Jinho because he needed to level up. Right.
Unless you just want to sit and wait for your phone to ring for D and E ranked dungeons, because that's all he would really get called for. You know, he's still an E ranker, and he's choosing not to take the test again to get it really scanned, because he's not really quite sure if he's able to protect himself and others if need be. So, you know, which I understand, you know, I get it. If you're being really paranoid about what could happen.
That's true.
I get it.
So yeah, that kind of played out the way we thought. So episode 8, he agreed to the deal with running the dungeon. Is he still doing, was it 20 that they needed to run?
They needed 20 total, but they just completed that one. So it was 19 at the time they were talking about it. So it's still a good amount. And they were going to give these people, we found out later, to fill the spots. Mm-hmm. Was it $3 million per gate?
It was 3 million yen. 3 million
yen per gate.
But they were doing, like, when we got to episode 10, they did 3 in one day.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
And some of these are high schoolers. So it's like,
which that's why I said we gonna get to that, how they actually executed that plan. But that was the deal he went with. And then what else? Oh, we got the gang all getting back together, the double dungeon gang. That was
they all individually were getting their alerts that, you know, help was needed with the D rank gate. But right before that, there was a little bit more of like kind of world building, or letting you know the weight that these guilds have, because there's like 5 major guilds in the city or whatever, and that they are, even though the government has a play into it, it's like the guilds are the ones that are the hunters collecting these things. So essentially, like, the guilds kind of run things to a certain extent, because these items they're finding in here are like crazy valuable, but it's up to them to give them to y'all. Y'all not gonna check a hunter. You know what I'm saying?
And we also learned in the recent episode that an S rank, they can't do nothing. Like if an S rank run up on you, they like, the police can't help you. You're on your own.
Which is crazy.
That is crazy.
We'll dig into that later too. That's like it's so much that I think that last episode did end up dropping on us, even though it wasn't like heavy action. But yeah, so I thought that was interesting how they really wanted to make that a statement. That was a conversation Jinho had with his dad in that limousine.
Yes.
Yeah. So we got him like walking around. He's looking at his experience thing, trying to figure out ways to level up. And then he gets the message, like you said. And then they jump to each individual person. They jump to Mr. Song, the one that was the fire mage.
Did Sanjay will get a message?
Yeah, he got the message right before them. Mm-hmm.
Okay, because my understanding of the episode was he ran into old boy. Like, I guess I missed that part, but I was like, he ran into an old man. I was just like, yeah, I'm gonna come along. And I was like, how that work? Because you can't. It's only 80 people. I guess I missed the part where he got the text. So,
am I frozen?
Yes.
Drinking this juice.
Drinking some water. Yeah. It was like the perfect screenshot.
Hold on, I'm gonna come back.
Perfect screenshot. It'd be like that, you move. You gotta get all settled in. Gotta get everything together. It'd be like that sometimes. Why? I feel like this thing is like, we don't want that. We don't like that. Let's take that out. All right, you back?
That I need to give me a Ethernet cord.
Change your mic.
Okay.
It changed you to the webcam mic.
Right now.
Yeah, that's good. Okay. Wait, why is it going in and out? Okay, wait.
What is it?
Sometimes when you switch it over, it take a little second. Say something now.
Let me double check it. Is
okay.
It still good?
Yeah, it's good now. Yeah. Sometimes it just like when you switch over for some reason, it take a second or two and then it'll get it together. But okay, that was good to know, because I was wondering, like, I thought he just ran across him. Like, I thought he was just like on a walk and ran across him. I didn't realize he was heading to the gate, and that's when he ran into the old. Okay.
Yep, that's where they all met back up. It was the 5 survivors of the double dungeon, which was like crazy coincidence for people to be needed for a D rank gate, and all of those 5 people were the ones that got chosen.
Yeah, and that was. When I was watching it, like this whole time, I kind of thought there was like a little underlying energy of the people who were keeping track of everything that's happening, or the Hunters Association. They were like, okay, these people are a problem. See, my whole thought was that like, oh, this double dungeon is a problem. Sanjay and Wu being weird. Maybe there was a second awakening there. So I thought my first inclination when they finally got to the gate and they saw that there were like the 3 prisoners and then the guy there. My thought was that it was going to be like, we got to get rid of y'all. So they were like purposely sabotaging the 5 and sending those prisoners there to like kind of try to hurt them, kill them, and stuff like that. So that's what I thought.
Chainsaw Man got you scarred. You thinking of them, the Hunter Association? Oh wait, that's what it's called, ain't it?
Yeah, it's the
Hunter Association too.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I can't blame you. The parallels are right there.
Right.
I feel like that's some type of stuff that they would be on.
Right.
You know?
Right.
But I don't know if that's this version's Hunter Association as a whole anyway.
Yeah, that's what I thought was gonna go down. As soon as I saw them prisoners, and it was like, wait, they sent them 3 to fill in? Like, this is crazy. Like,
I can see that though.
Definitely thought it was gonna go down where Sanjay and we was gonna have to like fight them, the prisoners, for trying to attack them. Like that's what I thought was gonna happen. But much to my surprise, was that episode 8 or that went into episode 9? I think that's episode 9.
Went into episode that was at the end of episode 9. I mean, the rest of episode 8 was pretty much like you said. I guess we didn't get to see Mr. Kang get his invite, but we did see Kim get his invite. And when I tell you, the way you saw red flags circling around Jenna his sister.
Yeah.
Kim literally was stabbed with red flags. Like it was just so apparent that this man was gonna die.
Red flag
he had
Kim.
all of the tropes like just being poured out. We got introduced to his family. Don't nobody care about this character.
We didn't see nobody else, family, nothing.
The wife begging him to retire or to stay home. Like, you don't have to go out. Remember last time?
Get out of the drug game.
Like, come on, bro. It was like that was the biggest like screaming, this death is going to happen soon that I've seen in this show. To me.
I kind of was feeling like he was gonna die, but I thought they were just I also was open to the possibility that they were doing that to make us root for him more if he was in danger. Like, okay.
It should be true. Because like, I feel like there were a lot of people probably got sad when they did see what happened.
Yeah, actually, because I remember saying that out loud on that when we first met them in the Double Dungeon. And they was like, they keep talking about how this man got a child, girl. I don't really care. Like, I really just don't care. I remember saying that.
That baby ain't gonna save you.
Right. And this time, I kind of actually was like, oh, man, like, that's tough. Like it was, I don't know, I felt bad because it was just like, I guess how it all went down. It's just kind of like, that was so unnecessary.
How did you feel about my girl Juhi with her little segment when she got her alert? She was in bed with that beautiful shot of her like with her hair cascading down and she was like laying on the bed, legs stretched out. I was like, that's a wallpaper.
I'm just
that's
like,
a sad wallpaper, but
she been lounging, moping, slothing, crawling around since it happened, which is fine because that was a very traumatic event. So that's great.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of, I knew she would go just because it was like the gang's all here, kind of a reunited thing, obviously. But yeah, I was happy to actually see what we got in episode 10 as far as her resolve and what she decided to do. Because I was like, if I got to see this girl laying around one more episode, like she need to make a choice.
Yeah, because there was another part we're gonna get to when they actually get in the dungeon that kind of irritated me about her, but we'll talk about it then.
Right.
Anyway,
so we're in episode 9 now, I think.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much. I think all that's left is they met up. Yep, and they got introduced.
And he was like, "We're gonna all go in," and they like went in, right? Yeah, okay.
Yep. Oh, this was. I'm honestly, out of 8, 9, and 10, this was the best of the 3.
So yeah,
to me.
Yeah. 9 was good.
Like,
I loved it.
This was some dope action. We open up with Sung immediately taking out goblins with pizzazz and finesse, unlike anything he's done before in front of his people.
Was that in 9?
Yeah, it was right at the very beginning. He gave a little right at the opening and knocked that goblin down immediately. I mean, they obviously was like, so you are a little different, huh?
Yeah, because I mean, they gonna keep showing us him killing goblins, which I think is hilarious because, you know, those used to be his biggest ops back in the day. A goblin could take him out
but
like,
really,
back in the day. Yeah, so they always want to remind us, but yeah, that was cute.
And then you got Kang giving him that little look, like after like they discussed that, like, oh, you're good, you seem like you're different or whatever, and then you just see Kang in the background giving them that ominous stare, or what is his name? Great value. Great value Megumi.
Not great value Megumi. Okay, I see that.
With that wild hair.
Yeah, so he was kind of giving him the look the whole time, which I thought was interesting.
Especially because you realize that he didn't remember him immediately. Like it became apparent that he realized who he was once they started talking out loud about the double dungeon. So this whole time he's just eyeing him, like I guess he's sizing him up compared to everybody else, you know.
And it's also probably like, I feel like I know him. You know, have you ever like it was
probably
one of them
too.
like, I feel like I know him. I know him. I just don't know where I know him from. Like, it could have been also dead. Because I also don't remember him. Until they had that conversation, I was like, oh, he was one of the two. It was 2 dudes. I didn't even realize that he was one of them until they had that conversation.
Which he wasn't even originally the other person in the room. I guess they wanted to introduce him earlier. Because that same time that they went in the manhwa, when they went to go rate his power level at that time, it was a completely different person. some random dude with slick back hair. So I think they just wanted to introduce the character of Kang probably a little early, so we can have that callback. Be like, oh, you were this nigga in the room.
He was, okay. So he had a little bit of information at that point, So he was sizing him up the whole time. He was kind of looking at him, and I always thought that was weird because I was wondering what the T was. Because once again, I'm still thinking that. Which I kind of thought at this point, I'm still thinking he's sizing him up because he know they about to seek these prisoners after everybody, and he's trying to see who he gonna have to fight. That was, I always figured they would fight, but I didn't think it was gonna go the way it went still.
Right.
Yeah.
Which it definitely went left.
Right. They really left.
I mean, and literally, speaking of going left, they walk up on these 3 tunnels, and they're trying to decide, which way to go. So Sung uses his newfound perception ability. He knows exactly where the boss is, so he like, we're gonna go here. We're gonna go ahead and branch off here. Kang takes the other 3 vagrants, or whatever you call them. He takes them to the right,
prisoners,
right, and then Kang and Kim go straight down the middle. But then what happens next? We found out what Kang's all about, and he was apparently there because he was paid. He got that money, honey.
Yeah, which I was not expecting that. So I was shocked, which I like a curveball that I was not expecting, because they could have just did something else. They could have went a whole different way, but that's cute. So the man paid him off, and I was like, okay. Which I still was ready.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I still was ready. I still didn't know what Kang was on yet. So I like being surprised too, because I was just like, okay, he just real, like he finna be strong. He finna be like, whatever. He might join the party later. You just never know. In anime,
right?
Always,
our brains always go there. Are we meeting a new friend?
Right. And they gonna become friends because they equals, like, Or I bet it's solo leveling. So
I mean, but they're two very similar characters, so I can't blame you for your brain going down that route. They're both these sleek type of assassin type characters, at least speed, and their attack are their main focuses, I guess, or whatever.
Yeah.
But the guy paid them because the 3 prisoners had, essayed, his daughter, and caused her to want to, end it.
Right.
And so he followed up with that, and he the guy wanted him to make their deaths as horrible as possible. So
which
I guess
he probably was like, yeah, right, this is my thing.
But it just so happens that Kim and Kang got so unlucky to the fact that their tunnel wrapped right around into that right tunnel, and they walked right up on him, strangling the guy, because you could have played that off in some kind of a way if you weren't out here brutalizing the people. If I would have got caught doing that, if I was Kang, I'd have been like, yeah, they tried to jump me. They tried to get free.
That's what I'm saying.
So them.
And also, I don't think anybody would have really gave him shit about killing the fugitives. They'd be like, I don't know what he got going on with these people. I don't know what they did. Yeah, he could have just totally lied and said oh yeah, they were trying to escape. They got out of line. They were plotting.
Right.
But then,
I mean, when it could go either way, because one way you could just tell them that they got, crazy with you, self-defense. But then looking at the bodies when you walking up, you see old homeboy head snapped this way, eyes bleeding, other dude's head chopped smooth off on the ground. This look a little bit more than self-defense. So it could be either way, depending on how bad they wanted to dig.
And also Kane just killing people. So I mean, once we discover his true nature, then I was like, okay, then that's why he just went with the plan that allowed him to kill more people.
He was definitely getting his rocks off when the rest of them joined. He was like, oh, so it's just everybody?
I just get to kill everybody now? Wow, this is chalking up to be a great day. I just get to murder more people. Yeah. We're going to new dungeons. It's crazy.
I guess Sun Jin Woo and them heard Kim scream, but not the 3 people getting brutalized in that same area. That was weird to me.
Were they in the middle? Well, yeah, actually, because they was all in the same place. Yeah.
Yeah, they all end up meeting up where Kang and the other people originally went. So it's you heard Kang scream, but you telling me these other 3 people died horribly in silence?
Yeah, that's true. That's also true. Right. So
But I
he
guess
heard
they
the
joined up and we
screams.
see what happens next.
Yeah, and then they ran over to go and see what was going on. And we got our intro to this fight, which I really, really enjoy, actually. I just love seeing Sun Jin-woo go up against different opponents, and I'm always like, how are they gonna mix it up? How are we gonna get a new opponent for him? What's the flavor gonna be, you know? And so this time, I think the last time we saw him actually kill human was it was those people. He just easily laid them out. So I feel like this was the first person that was kind of like equal match to him, at least at first. They was the equal match. Yeah.
I think going into this,
they stats.
Yeah, I think going into this, Jin Ho was like, he's maybe around to be a B rank person. So I think in his brain, that's probably where, I mean, in our eyes, that's where he is, and that's a B rank assassin. So yeah, they're kind of a little even. Now, I think that Jin-woo has some benefits that if he didn't have, this would have been a lot tougher fight. Like if he didn't have the ability to just instantly heal, I feel like he would like have been in major trouble. Also, his dagger. If he didn't have that dagger to inflict those type of stat debuffs on him, like there's some things there that's like, well, you lucky.
Pretty much the system gave him the edge in this. Like base stats, I think he would have been at a disadvantage, but with everything he had access to, it gave him the upper hand. Yeah, for sure. So yeah.
I mean, without that perception ability, Joo-hee would be missing a 9 because he went straight for the healer, as he said. And he just so happened to catch that thing right here.
Right.
Like I would have been checked out at that moment.
Which is such an assassin move because, you know, I play healer in Overwatch and it's just like, you know, the Genjis always come.
Always coming for your neck.
Always come straight for me. It's nice to have a peeler. Right. It's nice to have a peeler on the team. So shout out to Sun Jin-woo for peeling for his healer. Guys, just saying.
Take note. But
it came in handy. But I was gonna say, actually, we didn't even get to that first because we got to see old man one hand got to have his little moment of glory, which I didn't know how to feel about him at first. I was like, why y'all keep trying to make me? You talked about the old guy and how he was in the manhwa in the double dungeon versus how they changed. I think you said they changed like why he stayed behind.
Slightly, because it was more so his push to take everybody into the double dungeon, not as much so of the voting like it happened in the anime. I mean, I think they did. Did they end up voting in the manhwa? I can't remember, but I know that it was much more of him pushing than it was in the anime. Yeah, in the anime, I think it was down to Sung. He was the last vote.
It came down to Sun Jin-woo, which is still crazy to me that E rank, who always be about to die, would be like, yeah, let's go. So I don't know. I don't know if I cared for that change, but you know, it is what it is now. So we got to see him again with his one arm, and he actually stepped in front, right? Did he?
Yeah. So I mean, Jin-woo did catch the dagger, but he did step up. I guess even though that did happen, maybe he considered it to be like a little bit of a fluke, and he was like, you know, this is my chance to really step up. And honestly, I feel like this is his version of atonement, you know? So they say apology is dead, you know, without atonement, in my eyes anyway. On top of that, you can tell me till you blue in the face that you're sorry. I need to see it in some way. Show me how you are choosing to atone for this. And he steps up, and even though he mentions that because when we get caught up with him originally, he's training all these swordsmen, but he's fire, he's a magical, like intellect type
swordsman now.
Hunter.
He's a magical. Is he a mage now? He's a magical swordsman now, right?
He's always, that's the thing. He's always been a swordsman, like his whole life. But when he awoken, he got awoken as a mage, which was like, his swordsman's abilities are pretty much useless because you can't take those natural type of gifts into a dungeon. It has to be backed up with your ability, and his power is now in magic. He's kind of screwed there in this fight. But that's why I respect it, though. He went up with what he knew would probably work the best, maybe. And got the buff from Joo-hee.
That was cute.
That's where I got pissed, though. But that's where I got mad.
Why?
Because I'm like, I get it, right? PTSD, you're affected. But like, what tools do you have in that bag, girl? If you can do more than just heal, if you can like pop out a physical buff, could you not do the same with speed? Could you not use the same with protection? Could you not do the same? But there's so many different buffs I'm thinking could potentially.
And she's supposed to be B rank, right?
That's what I'm saying. You can't tell me that all you can do is this little healing trick as a B rank healer.
Come on.
So you proved it by giving him this strength buff. So like, you need to be working overtime, baby. I don't need you to just be reacting when people start bleeding. You need to be proactive.
Nah, she Orihime. I told you she saw Orihime coded to me. I just instantly was just like, she got the orange hair. She don't do nothing, but she always laying around on the floor. I was like, she Orihime. She's Orihime coded. You know
Right.
Orihime finna do nothing
When you
but do
fall
that
to
little,
the knees and them legs.
yeah,
shoot
that
out from the
little
back.
laid out. I said, you know Orihime ain't gonna do nothing but that little healing thing. Put a bubble over somebody, maybe they get attacked. That's all she
and watch it crack and watch it break every
and
time.
watch it break every time. So yeah, but I thought his plan was cute.
His little fake out.
Yeah, his little fake, that was cute. I was gagged when old boy knew he was gonna do it. I said, "Oh no, not he knew." I think I audibly said. Once again, I have this recorded of myself watching the episodes. I'm curious to know. I think I said like, "Oh no, not he knew." So I was kind of like, I would actually start rooting for the old man. He put up a cute little fight.
He really did. Because they really could have just threw it right back to Jinwoo earlier, but they really gave him a chance to be able to redeem himself. And I think he successfully did that, at least in my eyes as a viewer. I was like, yeah, you put in your work. It was a tough set of circumstances. It wasn't like you were Kim, because Kim legit, and that's what made his apology feel a little bit better to me, because he actually was threatening the life of the other people there, not just abandoning them and leaving out, but he put a sword up to Song's neck. So it was like, you was really on that time. You was really trying to save yourself, if you know what I mean. At least
and
Kim,
that's why
he was told by Song to leave.
And that's why it was his turn to die. But I still feel bad for how he was killed. That was bad.
It was a little. But I mean, they threw in another flag. This man is like, they talking about, do you think he'll ever forgive us? And he's like, it doesn't matter, because when this is all said and done, I'm gonna apologize. Like, no, you're not. I mean, he did get to, but I'm like, you not surviving this.
He's like, oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, it was. You can't have everybody. I didn't expect the other dude who I don't even know what he do or who he is, but he just went down.
Oh yeah, they mentioned him once and left him alone. They didn't even try to heal him.
they did, yeah. He was just like, oh, I was like, oh yeah, the healer got there. It did pull me in once again, even though these people who I definitely didn't care about the double dungeon didn't really care about a lot, but I was still rooting for them. I was like, oh yeah, the healer's here. He might be able to survive, you know. So it pulled me in adequately to really be into the episode. Yeah.
Ooh, and actually, when you think about like sympathy towards Kim, the way, and this is a shout out again to the manga, and the way that they use that medium of the scrolling, of the nonstop scrolling to view the manga, the way they did his death was like the conversation he had with his wife before was just bubbles in a black background, right?
Oh, okay.
Bubbles of their conversation. Then it led into him thinking about apologizing to Sung or something like that. And then the bubbles, they started to turn, like, have splotches of red on them. Until the speech bubbles were fully red. And then it was like one more speech bubble that was dripping red, and it was like a drip, 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 drip. And then it blew up to like a whole red scene, and it was just his body in the corner.
Dang,
I was like, y'all
ate
crazy. Y'all ate that up. That was good.
That is how you graphic novel almost. Graphic, more like graphic novels, like they call them over here. So that sounds beautiful. That sounds.
I'm telling you, I am artistic. A big time supporter of read this source material. Well, the light novel is the source material, but read this manga. It is a different experience. Trust me. If you become obsessed with this by like season 2, you need to go back and just read it.
If we had 24 episodes, I probably would be by the time it was all said and done. But it sounds like we might not get that. So we'll take what we can get. They had their cute little fight, and I'm not me yelling at the TV. Sanjay, we'll help them. Help the baby.
You don't need that much analyzing.
What was Sanjay Wu doing?
I think he was trying to Go
let
ahead, because I think
him.
you just say what I was saying.
Because I know the old man, like, kind of obviously was like, he want to keep this a secret. So maybe Sun Jin-woo was just like willing to let him do it so that like it would be a secret. Is that what it was?
That's what I got from it too. I mean, that was my
Okay.
perspective. It was like if Ju, because when you think about it theoretically, yeah, this is a B-rank hunter, but I think the reason they got away with that story at the end is because that kind of seems plausible. If you have a talented C-rank hunter, right, and you have a powerful B-rank healer with maybe all the tools that she might have pulled out, maybe she threw speed buffs and all this other stuff on them. That's what the A-rank hunter might be thinking, because she's a B-rank healer. So them two together, maybe she could push him just enough, like if it's a battle of attrition,
to give him the edge.
You know, exactly, that type of thing. Yeah. So I think I think that's what Sung Jin-woo was going to allow them to do. If they did somehow get away with it and were able to defeat him, kudos, nice. I can still keep my secret even from these people. But I think it got to the point where it was obvious they're not coming out of this. So he had to do what he had to do.
Sung Jin-woo help the baby. I was like, come on now, help him now. After that little fire move didn't work, I said, okay, come on, Sung Jin-woo. And he stepped in. So
and it was dope.
It was really good. Like,
it was really good.
I really enjoyed it.
And the whole time I'm just sitting there like drawing these comparisons. I'm like, here's this whole trope again. This what's it, Mahito to Yuji, you are me situation. You know, I mean, they both are, though they have that assassin type build. Although they put it, I like the way that he was surprised by the different things Sung Jin-woo could do, because to me watching this, I'm like, yeah, he's just getting these upgrades. But no, he's really becoming every role in one in this little assassin type build that people would assume he is. Like, he's out here fully healing himself better than probably any A or S rank healer can, you know, because it's instant. It's the full body. He's regrowing body parts.
It was actually like, we've gotten so used to it that I think it was like cool to see Kang, is that his name? React to him instantly healing, because it reminds us that this is not normal. This is not something that's normal in this world. I think it's easy for it to get buried. You know, you watch isekais and you're like, oh, it's magic and there's healers, so you kind of just like forget. I think that moment was good, just to remind us of like, we got another reminder of that kind of in episode 10. But I enjoy seeing the reaction of people who kind of know this world better, kind of be like, okay, now,
like, what is going on here?
Yeah, some
because he called it out. He was like, when he first blocked that attack that was going to kill Song, he was like, now I could understand if you was a power type and you was an E rank hunter. That would kind of make sense.
Yeah, I like that.
That's not your vibe. So like, what is really going on here? Then he got into the healing. Then he got into the speed and the fact that he was getting even faster after he used his dash ability, but he doesn't know he has the dash ability. So he's just getting faster out of nowhere, which I just love that he's just constantly gagging people. I think that's one of my favorite themes of this show, is just watching people constantly be gagged by Jin-woo.
It's so cute.
It's such a feel good situation.
And I like that. I was just looking at it, and then he was talking about, could you be less bloodthirsty? And I think it was cool because it seems like he had an ability that he can smell bloodlust. Is that what was happening? Because he could track him from he said he could track him from his bloodlust. I was like, is that a thing?
I think it's a combination of things, right? So him, because that's when Kang activated his stealth, which should have been his trump card.
Right.
And I think that the sensing his murderous intent was maybe a part of his perception ability still. I think it was a heightened, because keep in mind, he's still leveling up, he's still growing. So all of these stats are going to elevate in different ways and show themselves in different ways too. So I think that might have been, you know how, well, I don't know if you got that far in Naruto, but they got to the point where Naruto was so powerful he could sense good intention. Like, he could sense whether there was, you know, pureness in your heart versus evil in your heart or some shit like that.
Yeah, like it kind of got muddy, because it was one of those things where I was like, okay, he has abilities that calls upon the words he's using, but then he couldn't just be using the words. Like he was like, you're being bloodthirsty. Okay. But then he has an ability called bloodlust or something.
Yeah.
And then he
it's
has murderous
intent
intent.
in the anime. Right.
Yeah. Murderous intent. So like, was it he uses murder? And I still don't really know what murderous intent does. I always see the anime when he does it.
It's a straight up debuff. Think of it like that, because when he uses murderous intent, it cuts all of your abilities by 50%. So that's what legitimately happened to Kang. He used murderous intent. It kind of, I think in the manga he described it as being like a tidal wave, or like being flooded with water, and he not being able to move his body properly. Yeah. Oh yeah, that was the visual of it. Yeah, it was kind of like Russian.
It looks like
overtook him.
Thing. Okay, so that's cute. Because I be missing. I was like, I don't know why it looked like that when they animated. I don't even know what it do.
It's literally just cuts his abilities 50%.
Because he tried to do it to the little hellhound. Did he do it to it, or did it not?
Nope, he did it, but because he was so strong, it just canceled out. He roared and canceled it out. Okay, and then he elevated and got 100%,
which was buff. That still is the gag. But that's just like when you play Pokemon and your Pokemon does a move and they're like, it's ineffective. You like, bitch. Okay. Okay. My turn.
The typings.
Yeah, right. My turn over. So what they gonna do? Okay, so that makes sense. I'm glad I understand it now.
Oh, and that shot of, I love, like, these good guys are gonna look evil if it's the last thing they do. What? Like when he actually stabbed him after using murderous intent, and he's like, what the, and his eyes get big, and it's the pan up of Sung Jin-woo and just his silhouette and the blue eyes, which I will never get over that visage. I love it. I told you that first time his eyes glue just made me flash to every single time he's done it, and I'm just telling you, this man is just, ooh, I cannot wait.
Well, know what we have to talk about now, because I think when this was happening, we were maybe talking about this on Twitch. We have around the halfway mark of the show at like 15 minutes and 5 seconds to be exact. We had Sung Jin-woo doing the Goku, I'm getting ready to fight.
The little warm-up bounce.
And we had the conversation at the time of like, okay, everybody was talking about, okay, was they added in? Because rest in peace, Akira Toriyama, he passed away when the episode was before the episode came out. So it was confirmed that they did add that scene in as a...
Oh, they did?
Yeah. The studio confirmed that they added it in at the last minute.
I told you. I was like, I don't care what y'all saying. I am telling myself that this is a tribute, regardless if it was timing and it just so happened, because this is,
which would have been even crazier to me if it was just like timing. That would have been even crazier. So I'm kind of glad to hear that it was added, because I've been like, that's too crazy.
Right.
That happened. So yes, that was confirmed.
It was such a little hype. It's such a small little, adjustment, but it's so impactful, especially considering the circumstances, but also it's just a swaggy ass move. Like,
that's why I was like, it didn't feel like something Sung Jin-woo wouldn't have done.
Right.
Like, that's the other thing too, that they were able to add it in, and it doesn't feel so far off from Sung Jin-woo, because we see as he gets stronger, there's...
I think you froze this time. It is now my show. I've waited so long for this moment. No, but if it I didn't know that it was like confirmed that this little skip step hop thing was officially a tribute, but that makes me so happy. When you return to us, when Bree returns to us, I don't know if anybody saw that they actually put a couple panels showing Akira Toriyama working his way up Snake Way and getting checked in to go see King Kai. Oh, there we go.
I'm back.
You back?
I was like, it's still like it's the signal still deciding. I was like, it's gonna do it once a show. You know how when you guys spy the internet, it'd be like, okay, it's been an hour. It's been time to shut you down for a little second. Okay, but we're back. Yes. So right. I think I was saying that it just, as he gets stronger, we do see a little bit of cockiness starting to come out with him. And it's not like over the top, like I'm gonna tell you all my moves cockiness or anything like that. But we do see him kind of just be like, okay, like, so it didn't feel so off for Sung Jin-woo to have done that. So I thought it was cute.
Right. And since we were talking about Akira, I mentioned while you were frozen on the screen that did you see the that they actually did a couple panels at the end of, I guess, the most recent chapter regarding Akira, like
No.
working up Snake Way, getting checked in by the
I don't
receptionist
even
man.
want
I
to
keep
see
forgetting
it.
his name. The
I
Ox
don't
King,
want
was
to.
that the Ox King?
Was it Ox
I
King?
think so.
I
Yeah, the
don't
one
want to
that
see
checked
it.
people in. Yeah, it was him looking up at the desk, and the dude had a little tear, like, "Oh no, you're here."
I know. See, don't need to see it because
Yeah.
I mean, when that happened, even some of the drawings, some of the art that actual artists did, because to me, doing AI art to commemorate Akira Toriyama is just like crazy to me. But the
That is
people who
wild.
actually drew stuff for him was beautiful. Like, I saw a lot of beautiful stuff, but yeah, I don't know. I can't get behind it.
Yeah, that's
like AI
tone deaf as
pictures
hell.
of his characters, his IP characters, and you're using AI art to that's just weird to me.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna go on a tangent, but yes. Anyway, so that 15 minutes, we got that beautiful homage to Akira Toriyama, which was great. And one thing, like going through this episode and pausing, I just love. You said this before. I just love that I can watch Solo Leveling. And I can just pause, and it's always, most of the time, some kind of dynamic shot. I would say dynamic. When they're having these fights, I can pause, and I'm gonna get a dynamic shot.
Oh, I'm doing really it now.
Nice.
Like when he first, like after the let me see. This is when he first activated his stealth skill at 1541. 1541. If you just keep pausing when he like gets attacked and he buckles down to his knees, it's at 1548. That's so fluid. I don't know. I love that you can do that with a lot of these sequences that you can pass.
Yes.
You can click through, and each frame is just so good.
It's so good. It's so dynamic, and you're just gonna. It's just great. I don't know. Like, I'm just doing it now, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, it's so good. It's so good. And like the poses, it's so good. I just love it. And just even the detail of like when they were fighting after Sun Jin-woo hit him with the dagger and he got poisoned, and like even keeping that one red eye throughout like the fight. And also just like to talk about that, the simplified forms during the fight, it still works very well. They still do it very good. So I just like keep the important details in the simplified forms, but it is simplified when they're like moving really fast. But I love it.
Like they did a Dragon Ball Z treatment, whereas they main body's there and it's a bunch of lines showing the hands hitting.
Right.
But that was also in the manga too, in this specific fight. So it did at least give me the comfort of knowing this wasn't some time rushed choice, and that it was something that also was in the manga. So hopefully when we get to more important fights, episode 11,
oh wow,
we will get our money's worth in situations.
Yeah, every single frame is just like, I just hit that frame when Sun Jin-woo swung at him and he used stealth ability, and all you see is kind of like that sand or whatever.
Oh, I love the way they do that.
And you can just see like Sun Jin-woo put his whole body into that swing. When I tell you he was trying to fuck Kang up, the way his whole body went into that swing, like his foot was up in the air. I said, Sun Jin-woo was trying to tear his ass up. Like, that is a man who is swinging to kill you. Like,
I'm going back to it amazing.
Now. It's 15 minutes and 24 seconds. When I tell you Sun Jin-woo put his whole body into that swing, he was so upset that he missed him. You can just see his face.
It's that tiny bit of humble in here. But I think we... Oh, yeah. That is... You stupid. I can hear the damn it.
Yeah, he looking like, God damn, I'm gonna get your ass next time. That's exactly how he looking. It's so cute. I just love it.
But our guy got the final say so once he did his murderous intent, slid that knife right in his stomach. And he sank to the floor and gave his little speech, I guess.
Which I love.
Sung Jin-woo. Oh, go ahead.
I love the transition into that. Like the whole time. Ooh, that was beautiful. Ooh. I don't even know what happened. Let me go look while you talk about it. Go ahead.
Yeah, he sank down, and Sung Jin Woo, apparently he just can't keep it to himself. He's like, if anybody's about to leave from this world, I guess I'll share my secret. He did the same thing with Huang. He did the same thing with him now. He's like, what is going on? Like, how did you beat me? He's like, let's just say I get stronger after every fight. And like, he thinks about that, and he's like, okay, but I'm gonna leave you with something. The longer you stare into the abyss stares back into you. Like he was really giving him that like whole setup. This, I think it's like really, you know, foreshadowing, because we talk about how each time he's like, I feel like there's another emotion lost, or another part of me that's lost, and it really begs to, you know, the question, what are these powers doing to
what is
him?
it doing, you know? To him?
Like,
yes,
is he gonna like what like, if you keep having these moments where you're getting stronger and stronger, and these parts that make you human keep disappearing, where is that gonna leave you?
Yeah, what is it gonna leave him? What is he gonna turn into? I just feel like he's gonna turn into something, so I don't know. But yes, that is the part I really did. I love that whole thing. I, like you said, this is the part where we saw murderous intent look like a wave overtaking him, versus when he did it against the Hellhound thing, or whatever it was called. He did it from high up, and that the scale was so different that I don't think you could really see it. So it was cool that they animated it a little different for a person, like a regular person. Because that little wave wasn't doing shit to that big ass.
Yeah, it didn't even feel like kind of like this, how it felt all fluid. It felt like he was more doing like kind of the exact thing that Cerberus was doing. It did like this roar, to break it up, and that kind of felt like his roar, but with his eyes, you know.
Yeah, it was. It looked very different here, but yeah, that little speech shook. I don't think Sung Jin Woo really cared. But I love that part, especially this part where he's like, I say your shadow stretches into some really nasty places. And they had that shot of his legs, and they were just like really long shadows, like really cute. It's like some horror elements there, which for me is starting to make that ending make more sense, because that closing sequence is very horror. So I'm starting to see some horror elements come through. So I'm like, ooh, what we dealing with? What's demonic?
I'm about to tell you. Because there's some cut information here, or some cut scene that is very telling about Jin Woo's state of mind currently in this moment.
Really?
And
on the panel,
so shook that they didn't. Yeah, I'm so shook that they didn't add this in the anime. It's obviously not going to happen, because the people involved in this, you know, this time has passed. So this is definitely cut content from the manga. Sung Jin Woo does mention how, you know, this is, like he said previously, another emotion taken out. And I think in this scene, they were I think the anime is really having us go on this journey of Sung in a more, I want to say, way that we can understand and make justification for. Yeah. Because in the manhwa, there's something that Kang whispers to Jin Woo as he's dying, and we don't know really what he said. Cut to, it pans over to the prisoner in the orange jumpsuit with the long black hair, the one that was kind of the most creepy towards Junhee. Yeah, when they first, he was like, why don't you come play with us, like being real creepy, you know. And on top of that, like, Kang was killing them because they essayed another girl. And there's a moment where in Kang, right before he kills them, he asked them a question about, like, could you kill people like you kill these goblins? In the manhwa, it was babies, like, could you kill children like you do these goblins? And the dudes was like, I mean, yeah. Right. Keep in mind, they're in these dungeons doing work to shorten their sentences to be free.
Right.
So it's like they're actively in this dungeon telling you they could kill kids like they could kill goblins, and they could still get to work towards being released early. Crazy. That's why that dude paid them all that money to get justice.
To get them killed.
This was
like
spit in the face.
Let out. Right.
Girl, let me tell you. What Kang whispered in his ear, in Jin Woo's ear, was that one of the prisoners was still alive. And that was a long hair dude. The long hair dude was faking his, like, I guess, death or whatever to, let these two monsters that he just witnessed battle go about their business so he can escape later. Jinwoo told this man, "Get up." I know you faking. Actually, let me pull up.
I was about to say they took that out. I wonder why.
I'll show you why. Because I think this is advancing where Jinwoo is currently in the story, and I just think it's wild that they left it out. Let me see. How do I share again? Okay. Present. That's what it is. Share screen.
No bites.
All right.
My cat biting me. Okay.
So this is him getting the stealth room.
Oh, okay. Kang. This is like after. Okay.
Yeah, this is the end of the battle. So, I can obtain skills after killing him. This is something that he realized.
Yeah.
Right. We'll go first to report to the guild. Hurry, we'll be waiting outside. So these two, they leave willingly. Yeah. They just go. They're like, once you finish up, we'll be out here. Because keep in mind, the boss still needs to be taken care of.
Right.
So, yeah, he's like, don't worry, it won't take too long. He's walking. I know you're alive. Get up. Look at these eyes, bro. Tell me who's the villain in the show.
He said, I know you playing over there. Get up. Let me take this.
Why did you try to act dead? You're trying to run without anyone knowing, huh? He was like, can you talk? Oh, yeah, because Kang cut his throat.
Oh,
in this version.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he can't really talk all that well, I'm guessing. Kang was pretty
Sanjay, who don't care.
Right. Probably would have killed you in the most painful way possible. Blah, blah. But he was like, at this rate, you'll die of blood loss. If we asked Miss Juhee, you'd probably live. So he's mentioning, if we take you to Juhee, we go. Right.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm saved. That's what he's thinking. Wait. This way is, he's like, stay still. This isn't the way out, though. So they're going the opposite direction of the exit.
Right.
This is the boss gate, girl.
Okay. It's a cute little gate. We've seen better.
Right. It ain't grand or nothing, but look how he's looking, girl. This place is
also that's the
boss's dungeon.
We didn't even get to see the boss in the show, right?
No, he took care of him off screen.
Yeah.
This nigga is posted up.
He's just
with his
watching.
back against the door. Yeah. Do you remember the faces of all of your victims? He's like, you're trash even beyond Kang. Because he was like, out here. Really
because I think in the episode, he's like, I don't even need to get worked up to kill you.
Oh, he said that to Kang. Mm-hmm. No way I'd let a monster like you outside. Girl, so he's leaving this man to the people, but like, watch, like, this ain't just some off-screen, like.
But they gonna show people get killed. The way Sanjay Woo got killed, I was like, oh my god! That first time he died.
But look, they even showing like biting his fingers off, and Sung Jin Woo is just chilling, girl.
Watching. Ooh, that's like, oh yeah, they murdered him good.
I'm just sitting here like, this is wild. And then he, after they do their thing, he jumps in and
then he killed him. He said it wasn't too difficult. He ain't even like got dirty or anything.
Right. He just doing his regular big one. But I wanted to share that just because it's like, I think it's evident that the show is trying to like maybe
more of
give him a lot more
hero
situations too.
Not like they don't want to make, I think they're trying to not make him as morally ambiguous in this take as he strikes me to be. Like, I feel like if you talking about that's someone who's like, he's not, he's like, okay, he has his own code kind of like thing. Like, he doesn't have a lawful good. He's not like a lawful, we talk about that. He's not like a lawful good. Mm-hmm. So he's not like, okay, I'm not going to kill anybody. Like, I'm just killing people. So we know he kills people, which means he's already not lawful. Like, he's not a lawful good kind of person. I don't know which one he is, but I think in this take, he's just kind of like a Dark Knight type, where like he has his own code that he runs, not what everybody else would. So I think in the anime they're trying to make it less that way, it seems.
Yeah, I mean, in my brain, the first place I go to is, okay, so you were placed in a situation you could not get out of with those 6 people trying to kill you, right? They showed their murderous intent, and the system tasked you with killing them, right? So he did what he had to. He dispatched each and every person, and I feel like the most decisive, quick way he could. He gets to Kang. Once again, sets off his little alarm. I think he even said, could you have less murderous intent so he wouldn't have an excuse to kill him?
Yeah, he's like, could you that's what he was like, could you hide your blood or be less bloodthirsty?
Your blood less or something. Yeah, so it kind of feels like he was trying to still maybe find ways to not go all the way through with it. But once he got tasked with it, he was like, well, I guess that's one excuse that I ain't got to worry about when it comes to killing you. But then in this one, it takes it just another step forward when in reality, Kang let you know this man was still alive. You didn't even have to talk to him. You could have went up right behind him, finished the job.
Right. Or he could just went down with the dungeon.
Hello? You dragged this man all the way to the boss room. You taunted him a little bit. So that then you had him like going on that paranoia journey of like the exit's the other way. What's going on? Then you throw him to these goblins and then you let them slowly have their way with him. That is definitely a step forward from just simply killing people.
Just like, the system told me to kill people who deserve to be killed.
Right. Like now you're getting creative.
I think they probably also would have just cut it because it would require a lot more things to animate as well. Like they obviously was not trying to animate these goblins in this hobgoblin because we didn't see that at all. They was like, yeah, we ain't trying to add that. Just take that out and cut it. So I mean, we'll see how they play.
But they still showing all kind of crazy stuff. People's getting decapitated, legs getting eviscerated.
Yeah, or they find some other spot to add something like that in, maybe move it around a little bit. So we'll see if they do that. And then they left the dungeon, and that's when they were talking to the girl and kind of telling her, was it he or she or he at this time? Was it? It was a man this time.
It was the A rank hunter that was next to Kang when he first left the double dungeon in the hospital.
Yeah. Okay.
So he's an A rank. I think kind of like the second in command as far as the Hunters Association in general, because he works hand in hand or side by side with Chairman Go that we met a while ago.
Okay.
Yeah, Chairman Go's an X rank hunter. He's an A rank hunter, and Sun Jin-woo even kind of sized him up on his perception ability. And I think this is the first time him himself gave us his level. He's like, I'm somewhere between a B and an A, but I'm not quite there yet. If I would have fought this dude with this slick
he
back,
definitely would beat me up.
I would have lost. Right.
Yeah, and I liked hearing that. I'm excited to see how we're going to get introduced to them to get a good idea of the scaling, because I feel like they need to do that at this. We saw someone who was like his level base stats fight him, and now I kind of want to see him like just with a person like these ranks. I need them to ground the ranks first. Like they've been telling us stuff, like they've been grounding it as far as like, the police can't stop them. He's like, this person will beat me. But I think we will get that with what's the guy he kills, little brother. I think we're gonna have that moment.
Wang.
Yeah, I think we're gonna have that moment where we'll get to before Sun Jin-woo levels up to the point where he can hold his own. We'll definitely get that moment where we get an idea of how vast the power is, because he's probably gonna get beat up or something like that. So it just makes sense that would be next, that we would get to see that.
Yeah, he definitely left him with that warning that you mentioned previously. He was like, hey, I believe you, right? I can't really see a world in which you would be able to beat Kang. So I'm also going to say this. You and that other weakling were the only ones alive when that strike team was wiped out. So that kind of means that this S-rank hunter, we can't do nothing about, to be honest.
You're on your own.
So you might want to pick up your little sister, throw your mom in a little wheelchair.
I was kicking and screaming, but I think that was at the end. I think that was at the end of episode 10, wasn't it? That was at the end of episode 10.
No, this was at the end of.
That was at the end of episode. This past week he said that. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I
Focus
forgot
your
that they met back
camera.
up.
It's like, hey, it's your camera. It's like,
Oh,
yeah, there you go. There you go.
sorry about that.
No, it's okay. I think that was episode 10. So let's just roll into episode 10 where we get. Cool. It was kind of would you say this was, I feel like, is this a setup episode? I guess it felt like a setup episode.
Again. Yeah, in ways. There was some setup happening here. But I think it was more so the last portion that would like set up what his intentions were in the next episode. Yeah. Was to tackle that the job change. Yeah. The job change mission.
Yeah, which was interesting. And we'll talk about that because I don't know what they're talking about. But I know we opened this episode with Junhee. Is that her name?
Mm-hmm. Junhee.
Deciding she gonna call it a day. She said, I'm moving back in with my parents. Yeah. I'm done. And I was glad.
Which honestly though, like after going back and rewatching that episode 8, it kind of made me feel a little sad though that she chose to move in with her parents, because when in that scene where she was by herself before she got the D rank call, she was in bed with her mom on speakerphone, and her mom was like, "You still doing this? You know you always been a scaredy cat. Like, ain't you just holding them back? Like, you need to come home, blah, blah, blah." It was like no belief, no faith she's going to be able to get through it, which, I mean, from our viewpoint, maybe, yeah. But
yeah,
it's
Mama
just
was
like,
reading you for Phil.
Yeah, and it was just like, she's giving into that, you know, and she's, you know, I mean, at this point, you got confirmation that Jin Woo's a bad mother. So if anything, you can take this opportunity to work on yourself with him, you know, like, I really hated the fact that they had this moment where she obviously likes him, you know, it feels to me like, anyway, that there's embers there, and she's just, you know, going back home to be with her.
Yeah, they both seemed, it was very interesting how the two of them interacted to me, because on that first episode, well, not the first, the Double Dungeon, episode 2, they obviously seemed to like each other. And I don't know, it's just interesting to see how they interacted every time they've run into each other so far. I mean, this was the first time we got they referenced it again of, oh, I'm gonna take you out, and then she gave it back. I don't know, it just felt, I don't know, but I mean, I guess it was at the end of the day after they had just finished the dungeon. So I was like, I mean, y'all ain't go out for drinks, nothing. Like,
that's what I was like, what's stopping right now?
That's what I was like. Right now, we can decompress about the dungeon. Let's go have a drink. I mean, I would have questions for him.
Hello?
And if he's
advice,
like
even
right,
like if you were so gung ho to get better and be stronger. You see this man jump back to the point where you thought he was foolish when you ran into him at the hotel, that you didn't even introduce yourself because you was pissed. So it's like, you see how he's able to bounce back even better. Why not at least ask questions about how he did it?
Yeah, that relationship seemed like not super close because we didn't get a lot of time, but I did feel let down there because it didn't feel like how these two people would have handled it. As far as like she got used to running with him. She was like, oh, when I play Overwatch, I always have one person I heal up because, you know, they be struggling. I call him my Pookie Bear. So it's like, she was like his little Pookie Bear on the squad. So I just feel like it's just weird to me that she would just see this man be like super strong. He's alive. Like, y'all haven't had a real conversation since he showed up alive. And he's super strong, and he done got fine as hell. Like, girl.
Right. That part too, because you wasn't blushing before. You was not blushing before. You was like the girl in the hospital with that phone out.
Right. Exactly. So it just felt weird that they wouldn't have even like had a drink. It would have just been cute to have had this conversation over drinks at least. Like, oh, we went to a little
because
bar.
y'all adults. Y'all is over the age of 24 at this point.
I mean, he can't get drunk, but even like a little food truck or something, like, it just would have made.
He should be able to turn that off. That should be a skill, not a passive. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, that's what it's a passive. So yeah, I was kind of let down with that, and I was like, I mean, if you're in the area where my parents are, we can have some. I'm like, y'all standing right here right now. Like, it was just weird to me. Anyway, I just had to get that.
I mean. Also, one more point about that exchange is kudos to the way the animators did it, because I love down that she was smiling in his face and giving him all of the I'm okay. But the moment she turned around, that it immediately melted away. It was
Yeah.
She went right into like a defeatist kind of sad type, but she didn't want him to see it, and I just
Yeah.
love that little touch. I love
That was cute.
little touch. Yeah.
So the next thing we got was what old boy warning him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sleep back.
Oh, that's why I thought it was in the last episode.
Yeah, because it was like pretty
that
early
happened right
on.
after the dungeon. Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty early on where he said, "Yeah, y'all might want to get out of town." Which I was kicking my feet. I'm rooting for my theory to happen. I said somebody got
rooting for it. That's the thing.
Because then I can have more respect for the. I can have more respect for the story. Okay, she at least got to get hurt real bad. How about?
Oh my god!
Can she just get hurt?
If I see her get like punched or something, oh my god!
She got to get hurt real bad or something. So I'm kicking my feet because I'm like, they're not gonna kill Sun Jin-woo. We have to see that the strength is so vast, and a sibling for a sibling would make sense.
So you want to see him like unleash?
I just think that I need a
because
good
that's his
idea.
Sister.
I just don't understand any other situation. Like, okay, so we got this little setup where he's like, he gonna come for y'all, he gonna come for you, he come for your family. We got that little setup. And this guy's really strong, and we haven't really seen much of S ranks or A ranks even in action. So
the only thing we got was the first episode intro where they kind of showed a couple S ranks in the Jeju Island raid, the initial one.
Right, and at that point we had no other, like we didn't have any scaling. We didn't have no scaling. So I think it's time to see it, and it's like that last little 3 episodes. Like I said, it's time to see a S or A rank do something to somebody. It just seems like they're setting it up that he gonna pop up on them and maybe hurt. I mean, I don't see it going any other way. Besides, he hurts the sister or something like that. Only the reason I think it possibly could not happen because I'm just trying to see where it would go. Like after that, like okay, if he kills or hurts Sun Jin-woo's sister, Sun Jin-woo can't kill him because he's not strong enough yet. Where would that? You know what I'm saying? How would that progress his story? Because they'll just be like, oh, I hate this guy so much, I'm gonna get stronger to kill him because he already got something pushing him to get stronger,
right?
Which is the elixir.
Right now, I think that's it. That's the biggest thing. Getting that elixir from the S rank dungeon. I think
the S rank motivation is
but
already.
Also now it's kind of an expedited sense because he don't know at what time or when this man. Because I mean, we have a timeline. That man said, "Give me 2 weeks." 2 weeks and I'm on that ass.
He said I'm on it, and I don't know how long. I don't know how much time has passed. The only thing I could think that it would like push the story forward more, maybe, is like if. Only reason I can see that happening, right? Let's just say for fun, theory time. The guy hurts his sister to the point where she's not dead, but she's now also in a coma. But it's like a time crunch.
Double homicide.
She said, like time. It's a time. The only way I can see it pushing it forward is if like his sister isn't dead, because it can heal anything. Can it bring people back alive?
It said heal any sickness or illness. I think
heal any sickness
heal any disease. Heal any disease.
Yeah, heal anything. So I don't know, unless it was kind of like the only thing I can see it pushing him forward is like, oh, your sister's now, you need it now for her.
Oh no, he has to do an Attack on Titan.
What?
Armin or the commander?
Yeah, like that. I mean, your mama being over here, veggie tails.
You are ruthless.
I'm not ruthless. I'm just saying.
Not veggied up.
If you really think between Sun Jin-woo and his mom, if you really think he gonna pick his mom, he not. He will pick his sister. She has life ahead of her. She gonna be a doctor.
It's literally just a terminology. I ain't never heard nobody say veggied up. That's so disrespectful.
I'm sorry. I'm just saying.
No, I feel you. That would be tough, like, and that would be a good little choice of trauma.
Push him, yeah. And it also would, like, for Sun Jin-woo, the way he sees it, is it would be a cute way, like him being now more motivated to beat this guy ass and get to this S rank dungeon. It would be a good way for him to test out if he could take on the demon king. Like he's like, if I could beat him, I can beat that. So Sun Jin Woo knowing that when he go in there, he can't get back out. I can see him using that as a way to test if he's ready to go. So that's the only thing I can see it like kind of, it would benefit the story for maybe not kill her, but just hurt her. Because now it's like a time crunch and it's like, I'm going to kill him and I need to kill him quick. And if I could kill him, I also know I could probably beat that boss.
Yeah,
that
just like break a leg. You can still be a doctor with 2 arms, you know.
With 2 arms.
Yeah, just don't break her. I don't know. I mean, there's probably a 1-armed doctor out there.
But that's the thing. That's why I said she's gonna have to be in a coma or something, because we saw in the same episode, which I thought it was real cute. I said, okay, Sun Jin Woo, I see you. When he healed that man.
And I didn't want to jump ahead, but
yeah,
we were mentioning how, like, you know, he's trying to keep this thing a secret, and it's to the point where he doesn't even want to bring up. What's up, Hood Magic?
Hey.
He doesn't even want to bring, expose his magic potions or his mana potions, because he took his mana potion when Jin Ho in this episode had his back turned while he was mining.
Yeah,
you know, to refill his mana, and even then he told the dude to, you know, close his eyes and open his mouth, which I was like, pause.
Okay, hold on. Maybe when we get to this, are we gonna talk about this scene? Because the way I had already told you that Sun Jin Woo had one more episode to be fine. and I said, and then not
open your mouth.
Not Sun Jin Woo over here on that and on Dom energy. I said, not him doming this man right now in this restaurant.
Oh my God. Yeah, well, I forget. Yeah, we did. Let's just talk about it. We'll go back to whatever we missed. But yes.
I'm sorry. It was so hot. Yeah, sexual attention between him and this.
What was it? Oh yeah. So his assistant, this is the White Tiger Guild. The dude that, like, you know, punched that hole in the big ass concrete slab previous episodes, that was his guild. So he gets an alert that all these C rank dungeons are being bought up and pretty much a monopoly on them. So he's like, hold on, now grab my purse. We got to go look at this. Because he saw Jin Woo's name, and this was bound to happen. Okay, you've been in too many high profile incidents as an E rank hunter that just so happens to be the only one surviving. Somebody was going to pull these strings together. So which kudos on him. He actually goes to the site of the next one that he, I guess, that's on the schedule to be cleared or whatever, because you can only hold gates for a certain amount of days. So I think that's how he narrowed it down. So he went, and they doing Freaknik. They doing a tailgate. They just having a picnic, chilling. And it's like, what did you think anyone with a brain that knows how gates work would walk up to that scene and not question what's going on? Or at least, like, unless y'all gonna kick them off the premises, I would just stand across the street and see who come out.
That's all.
And the fact that the gate is gonna close right behind them.
So y'all could have just put them in somebody's house.
Yeah, like, if or stay in the van, watch a movie.
What? If no one's making sure y'all walk into the gate as a squad, like, they could have just stayed at the house. They could have stayed in the van, Scooby-Doo mystery van. Like, why are we outside? After the first one, y'all know this is what we doing. Like,
right. Because like you said earlier, they clearing 3 in a day, which, bitch, like, just being a hunter gives you access to opportunity, because y'all are getting paid to play Uno several times a day. Like, you got that one chick skipping school, which I don't blame her, bitch. Y'all get on some shit I'm on. I'm getting paid $3 million every 2 hours?
But I think that was cute with their little ragtag group that they made. They used people who would need the money, who would probably decide to go with it for the money. Secret. Yeah, and go with it for the money. They had drunks. Or
signed that Beyonce level NDA. You heard what the repercussions was? They said you're gonna have to pay us tenfold.
Yeah.
For whatever we paid y'all.
Right.
That's crazy.
So you get people who are like already broke, and people who already need the money and will be more likely to keep the secret. So I thought that was actually, when I saw the little ragtag team they put together, I said, yeah, get all the drunks, get the poors, get the broke high schoolers. Like, yeah, they don't get the poors.
The broke people is out.
Yeah.
With the broke ass.
I was like, get the poors, get Go
Right.
to the hood of Japan, wherever they're saying. Go get
Right.
some of them people over there.
Are there any hunters on Godby Road?
Right.
College Park, where y'all hunters
Olive
at?
Bar.
I know y'all tired of paying this $900 rent in these roach motels. Come on.
Right. That was really cute. But I think that little high schooler girl, I don't know. She was frowned up the whole episode. So I don't know.
Right? And it's like, do I trust you? Do I not? Like, you over here blushing when Jinwoo walks up, but at the same time, you at the gate just spilling tea. You ain't even being protective of the situation.
Say you at the gate spilling tea.
No, really, because every question he's asking you, she's answering. So I'm like, if Jinwoo wouldn't have came out at that moment, or if they wouldn't have decided to break at that moment, because they came out after, if they didn't decide to break, like, and kept digging for questions, she probably would have just went on and just told them what was going on. It feels like, because you could. I guess that was the whole point of making her just kind of be like, she ain't really going with it, but she is. So I guess that it's supposed to make sense that she would spill the tea.
And Hood Magic said, glad y'all are back. We're glad to be back too. It's been a couple weeks we've been moving and stuff, but we're back. So hopefully we won't have to take a little hiatus again. But thanks for joining us. So did she spill tea about the gate? And why that man eyes look like that? That's my question.
What?
He looked crazy. He looked unhinged the whole time. I was like, he is definitely crazy.
Oh, you're talking about the guy that was...
the guy who was doing all the research. But I guess before we get to that, of her spilling all the... After she spilled all the tea, we had this little flashback of Redhead Man.
Oh, yeah, Eisen.
Eisen, yeah. Redhead
Fire Eisen.
Fire Eisen. What was that about?
So this is kind of...
animated, but what was it?
Yeah, I mean, we do have context towards it, so... There's a repeating theme here, and I think that's where they're taking this kind of secondary storyline to introduce these S-rank hunters a little early. The Jeju Island raid that we saw the preview of is a scar on a lot of S-rank hunters that are existing now, because that is the one gate that we know of that has not been handled, right? There was a dungeon break. And that's what led to that entire island being just overran by these powerful beasts. Now, the good thing is they can't get off this island, right? They're unable to travel to any place outside of this island. So they're able to evacuate. And hopefully at some point in time, once their forces are stronger, once they're able to come up with some plan to go and maybe do this again at some point in time. But yeah, Jeju Island is still a real thing in this current timeline that is a threat to the world.
You're right. Okay.
Right.
So he was having a flashback. Was he on Jeju Island?
Yeah, pretty much every S-rank hunter you see, for the most part, was a part of that raid that just failed. It did not. It wasn't a success, and a lot of people. It was like a whole PTSD
little moment he had right there. It was beautiful though, like how they animated it
with the fire and everything.
Yeah, it was really like even just the art style and like how it looked. It was just really pretty. It was a little PTSD moment, but I did like.
And we saw Eisen go through it, but I feel like maybe the Tiger, the leader of the Tiger Guild, has very similar PTSD situations, because we see him drinking by himself and reminiscing on those two specific hunters, one that got killed, and the other one that ended up retiring. He was a S-rank healer. The one that retired.
Oh, and one thing we didn't mention, I think that happened in episode 10, we didn't talk about, was we kind of saw Jinho's daddy in the car, and he was talking about when we got all that information about the Hunters Association,
about the guilds,
and all the guilds, and he didn't really say what his plan was, but it sounded like to me that he's just like, this could be commodified. I just don't think that such a good resource that is so important to our world should just be managed by these thrown together guilds and stuff like that. So it sounds like his plan is to commodify it, because he has enough money to, like, capitalist thing. Like, I'm a capitalist, like I can just make me a guild and then I can make it a private thing or something like that. So I just wanted to mention that we kind of got some info about why Jinho's daddy wanted to, or some kind of intro to what he tried to do. So
yeah, it definitely. I like Jinho as a character because he's typically that's what we saw in the episode 9, I think 8 or 9, when one of the representatives from the Yujin construction company was trying to recruit Cha in to Cha Hei in to come and be the guild leader, because also remember she is an S rank hunter, and all the other guild leaders are pretty much the same, but like we saw earlier, did not want to lead a team. She was just fine working under them. So I think that's what gives their specific guild maybe a bump up when it comes to the rankings, maybe because they got such powerful hunters just simply working under them as well.
But they won't need it. They won't need the S rank for long, because Sun Jin-woo gonna get right on up there to beat that man ass after he beat his sister now. So they won't need it soon. They won't need it.
Well, I mean, but that's the thing too. You gotta think about it. You can't give a nigga like Jin-woo too much time, because he's between a B and an A right now.
That's what I'm saying. And they about to do 20. They about to knock out 20 dungeons.
Knock out 20 dungeons. We saw a montage of him leveling up like crazy. I can't even tell you right now what level he is. I don't even know. He was 27 in episode 8. So
that's what I'm saying.
This man is probably smooth in the 30s, 40s at this point.
Yeah, by the time he beat him, finish like 20 dungeons, I mean, he might be up there. And then at that point, I just feel like if I knew I was S rank, y'all go ahead and rank me. And that would send him over. And then that would make sense that he probably would get introduced to the Jeju Island kind of thing, or sent to Jeju Island. I mean, that clearly seems to be the next segue that we're going into. Like, I just feel like Sun Jin-woo's smart. But yeah, if I knew I was S rank, I knew the Popo couldn't do nothing to me. And it was just like a few people who could probably lay hands on me, but we equals. Like, I absolutely would be like, yeah, y'all go ahead and rank me an S rank now.
Yeah. Guess what? I lied.
You show me S today. Right. Today. I'm an S today. Y'all gonna need a new rank soon, so get ready.
Right.
So, I mean, yeah, I could totally see him getting wrapped. They're setting it up for him to get wrapped up into the Jeju thing, obviously, once he hits S. So, I just wanted to bring that up. But then what happened after that? That's when we get to this lunch with this man with the crazy eyes. I don't know why.
Before that though, in this montage, we are getting a crash course, and this man just stocking up abilities. He got a ability called Fatal Blow.
Oh yeah.
He got what was the other one? It was Fatal Blow and something else. It was another skill that buffs his attack, I think, by like a certain percent or whatever, and it's specifically with daggers, which I love seeing. I love seeing these, like, this is a dagger specific buff, or this is you got to keep down this path if you want to utilize these type of stuff. So it keeps them from, maybe I don't know, popping up a random ass long sword and jumping into that, or
which I don't think
become a tank.
He likes to stab. I don't think he really is aching for something else.
And then you see Jinho. I love Jinho. I really do. Like, he showed up with a whole new set of armor, which looks so badass. I did like the gold a little better for some reason.
The gold looked better. This feels like it was too big for him.
Yeah.
Too big. Yeah.
And Jinwoo said, take that off. And he kept the helmet.
It was so cute. He's so golden retriever. He's a good
100%. That's his motif.
Okay, so now let's get to this lunch with all this sexual tension, honey. Like, what was going on here?
Honey.
And why was this man's eyes like this? Why is his eyes like that?
I think I can explain, and I don't think this is. I mean, I feel like this is supported in the episodes you've seen. So the whole thing about these guilds is trying to bolster their strength, right? Trying to become the number one guild. So recruitment, poaching, all that stuff is a very real and high octane situation when it comes to these guilds. So his duty is to be a recruiter. So when he hears that there's some type of E-ranker that might have had another evolution and is closing gates by itself, he's like, I'm gonna snatch you up. I'm gonna get you on the White Tiger Guild. I'm gonna get so much praise for this. This is the biggest find, period. So let me go investigate this person.
So there was like fiending eyes, like he was fiending for Sun Jin-woo. Because I was like, why he looked like he about to shoot up?
Oh, he was salivating at the idea.
He
Because this
was.
man, who else can close a gate by themselves
Yeah.
in this world?
Yeah.
Nobody. That's why they
So
have
that's why he
limitations
had them
on
eyes.
people coming in. Yeah, this was otherworldly for him.
Okay, because they were sending me every scene when he started to realize, like from the elevator on, every time his pupils were like so small. He done sat across Sanjay and Woo with these crazy eyes. I was like, why is he looking like this? But okay.
Yeah, I'm even like clicking through the frames. Yeah, his character design is an interesting one. It definitely, every scene he's like shook.
Yeah, he's
at what he's
like,
hearing.
Yeah. I just like, I'll say whatever. So that it was really cute. But I really enjoyed this little talk they had more than I thought I would. It was a good chunk of the episode, I would say too. But that was actually interesting to hear some of what he's been offered, what they're offering, the valuations of buildings. Sanjay Woo's out here, he is playing with these price
really
points.
Though,
with these price points.
these dudes with the beady eyes, they walk up on him and get him to have lunch. So basically, they're trying to recruit him. Like he mentioned, he didn't do any type of research on his deal with the Eugene Construction Company. And finds out that he's like, well, I'll pay you double of what they paid. Right. You a fresh newbie. This sounds like heaven. You ain't never gonna possibly turn this down. And even though I read it already, in my brain, I was like, he's gonna say no. I was expecting him to just say no. But he was like, no. Yeah, I forgot that there was that whole portion of like, well, this is what they offered me. Just offering this information. In my brain, I'm like, why are you doing this right now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, would you really take the offer if they said, yeah, I will give you a 50, but like, would you just,
but I think he was like figuring out the guy hadn't done research. I think he was calling his bluff because he's like, how much is y'all valuation? Isn't it like 50?
Yeah.
And you just offered me 60. I think it was something like that. He was like, you offer me 60 and it's valued at 50. So I think he just like pulled his card of like, you just saying whatever. You're just saying whatever. You don't even know.
Mm-hmm.
That was my.
I mean, well, oh wait, actually, so I think actually he was saying that a double of what I was originally offered would be 60 billion. But you're offering me a building worth 50 billion. Yeah, that is not too bad. I can go ahead and take that. I think that's what he was saying. But obviously, I think you're right though. Still, like he was definitely playing the field, trying to test and see how much information you had, because that was the whole reason he exposed himself to that extent. Like he went stealth, and he was like, well, right before he went stealth, he was like, wait, how did you hear about me? And then that's when he went stealth.
He was really just like, don't move. That was very interesting, like just how he was doing that whole thing. I guess he had to scare him, but I don't know. It was kind of
I think that was definitely the goal. It was like, let me go ahead and just lay it on thick that you might have, and that's he even asked, and I think it was strategic that he was like, okay, so who else knows about me? And even if he was telling the lie, he said me and my subordinate outside. So now you yourself have given me the fact that only 2 people know. So if I do hear anything, I know exactly where it came from according to your words. Right.
Like, I'm going to come find you and I'm going to get you.
And then gave him that little out now.
Oh, now that I was not
was like
that, but that's
right.
Some of that stuff that you're talking about, that it creeps out that he's not like this. He's not this clean cut hero that people
goody two shoes type.
Yeah, he's not a goody because he definitely cut that man. I said, oh, not him cutting the face and them eyes.
And you know what a paper cut feel like.
Right.
Now imagine that on your face. I'm assuming so. And that, I mean, what is like a B rank dagger? I'm sure that shit's sharp as hell. So he just gave him a cute little nick and let him know I could do whatever I want to you, to be honest, in this situation.
That was scary.
I could take you out.
Kill you right now.
Right. So play smart. That's why he and I like that at the end of the day, he still was like, willing to fully heal him and let him know, I just wanted to make a point.
I thought it was going to erase his memory or something, or like some part of it. I didn't know what it was going to do because it looked, I was like, what are you going to do to him?
Oh, yeah, it was a red liquid too.
Yeah, it was red. Yeah. So I was like, what is this? But he swindled him, making him sell the gates for, what was it, 300 million?
Oh yeah, because that was brought up previously. So during his talk with Jin Ho, he asked if he could have a couple days off, and he was like, "Well, I did just buy these gates or whatever." So in that, and I didn't even that didn't even click until he explained it at the end. Because I was like, why did he do all of this? Like, to make this money? Like, is it just to make money? Is he starting to get greedy? He was like, no, we was gonna give him up anyway, so might as well make some money into it. I was like, oh shit.
And these price quotes were crazy. And then
he said a gate was typically only really worth 200.
Yeah, it was like, I mean, just not as far as what Sunjay and Wu was saying, but just hearing these prices thrown out as far as like what they're negotiating, how much they pay for stuff, and these guilds, how much they have. Like, I just think hearing all those numbers finally, like starting to hear the numbers thrown out, is crazy.
I mean, yeah, like one C rank gank, he said on a good day, it could produce about 200 million yen or whatever. That's one gate. These guilds do gates multiple times a day, different levels worth. You got these S rank guilds who can do A rank dungeons. So imagine how much an A rank could produce. Yeah, they like the Juhin Construction Company is very knows right on it when it comes to what this means for these guilds. These guilds could be like crazy powerful. And he's like, I need to get into the game. I need to play the game.
Because that's crazy. I was just hearing those numbers thrown around. I'm just like, wow, I did not know it was this serious. Like, as far as how much they're charging and how much they're paying and negotiating all this stuff. I'm just like, that is. And now,
because think about it, you literally you have number one, the firepower. Like, one of these guilds is pretty much the military. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then on top of that, you have the ability to straight up monopolize what we now believe to be the most powerful resource, I guess, out here, or the most expensive resource out here. Right. So it's like, you can't be both rich and powerful. You just can't be.
Now I understand why, like, when he first had that conversation with Jin Ho, he was like, well, yeah, I can make way more if I become this, or like, this is kind of like a short. Now hearing it back, I'm like, yeah, I kind of started throwing around them kind of numbers. Yeah, he can easily rack up crazy money. So like, it's just, I appreciate being able to kind of get a better feel for like what we're dealing with right here. Because back then when we first had those conversations, I don't think we had as much information to help us there. So yes, I love their little interaction. And yeah, when he told him to open his mouth, and I said, ooh, it should have been
Close
me.
Your eyes.
It should have been me.
Open your mouth.
It should have been me.
Oh wait, you didn't now?
Oh, it's just
right
potion.
Now?
It's just potion.
Oh,
damn. Okay.
Thank you.
I thought you was trying to.
I was actually gonna keep this as a remembrance. Like I told you. I mean, even at the end, he was like, even after he got swindled and everything, he was like, I mean, I came out on top. I got this man contact info. Right.
That's what I was like. It's just,
I got the number.
It was something about the way that they had that whole, like, the last little bit of the interaction. I was like, this is, I don't know if they did it on purpose. I don't know if it's like that in the meanwhile, but it was definitely like sexual. It just felt like a bitch being like, I like him. I got his phone number. See, y'all can't tell me nothing. I got his phone number. Like, it was weird. It was weird.
I mean, I definitely think, like I said earlier, that like this guy takes recruitment very seriously. So I think, like, really just boiling it down to as little as we can, it was a win at the end of the day, because now I have a contact with this man who nobody else does. I have the end to this very unique, very special, one that I know for a fact now. This is an E-rank hunter with a stealth skill.
Yeah, he solidified with everything I thought was true. But it was just like the way they did it. It was just like he was giving, I'll suck your dick for a cheeseburger. Like, he was definitely giving it, like, calm down.
I'm so done.
So I'm just saying, like, it just was giving it. I was just cackling at it because it was funny. But by the end of the episode, I did find the guy endearing. I liked him. Yeah. I liked him. It was really cute. So that was an interesting thing. And then we got that cute little, what's this job change quest? I don't know. What's his job right now? What is this?
So I think if we look back, he had two statuses. One was the like title, which he has Wolf Assassin, at this moment. And I think the other one was Job, and Job was like dashed out, like nothing is in that field.
Okay.
So y'all be careful in those freaky dungeons.
I go to freaky dungeons for with Sanjay.
Listen,
I think your dick to join the White Tigers. No? Okay. You want 30 billion? I ain't got it.
Y'all better not give me abilities. Bitch, how you trying to recruit me? How bad you try?
You're right. That's what Sanjay Wu look like. The way he walked up behind him when he was in stealth skill, he was standing behind his head. How bad you want it? Like, I was like, Sanjay Wu, this is weird. I'm uncomfortable.
I hate how much of a degenerate I just make myself seem on this podcast on a weekly basis.
But it's the way they animated it. Because I'm like, why is he standing behind him like this? Why is he standing behind him like this? Why is he telling this grown-ass man to close his eyes and open his mouth? Why is this man at the house kicking his feet because he got Sanjay Wu's number? Like, it's y'all doing it. That's not me. Y'all did it.
Writing in the diary.
Yeah, so he doesn't have a job right now.
Yeah, I think his job title is blank at the moment, but he is now embarking on this job change quest. I keep saying quiz, but I mean that's a big thing. Like a lot of games, your job or your title gives you certain buffs or gives you abilities. Like it's going to be interesting to see what comes of this. Like, I mean, and you already know it's a quest, and if it's going to present him with this ability to gain something, it's going to be a tough one. So
I'm gonna tell you why I'm nervous.
I'm
just gonna show you one reason I'm nervous, and it hopefully is short enough where we don't get a copyright strike. This one screenshot, I got it. This man on here real quick. But right before we get to that, why he look like this? He stay looking unhinged. This Sanjay got a cute little car now, but I don't know if he had that before. But
I don't remember him having any kind of car.
Right.
I mean, he's been making some money though.
Nervous. Like that, just how carefree and easy breezy, beautiful cover girl it was.
Wind blowing behind his ear.
It was just too relaxing. He's gonna come back to some news. I don't even know where he's going. It seems far.
Oh, you said come back to some news. Oh no.
Or he's gonna get interrupted by, because like, first of all, where is he going? Because he lives in like Tokyo. He live in the city, right?
I think these like the same with the instance dungeon with that red key. It was a location he had to go to use the key.
Yeah.
Like he had to go to that subway entrance to use it. So I think that's what he's doing now. He's driving to wherever. I mean, and probably
the fact that they showed it and he looked so carefree and light and blowing in his hair, sunny day. He probably was listening to Vanessa Carlton, 1,000 miles in the car.
Yeah, that does feel a little telling. Like not telling, but like misleading. Like we've been ending on cliffhangers for the most part, and this was just like. This sounds fun. Job change quest.
Refreshing. Let me go get a job and be a barista, make frappuccinos. Like, it was real cute. And I was like, nah. I'm scared. So I'm like, episode 11 is finna snatch my wig, because I can already tell. Because
I was so pissed that I missed you watching episode 9 live. I jumped in like the last 10 minutes or something. Text me. When you go live, if you watch episode 11 on Twitch, because I want to be there to watch.
I am scared.
I want to watch. I'm so excited.
I'm scared. I don't know what's gonna happen. My theory is that maybe he's gonna be there for a little minute because he's going out.
I mean, he probably will. That's what, like, I've heard people. I think you actually told me, or somebody said that, like, oh, they're looking for like episode 11 is about to be a heavy one. But I'm like, if this is going to end, because I think I know where this season is going to end now.
Yeah,
I think I know what the last 10 seconds is going to be of the show. And if that's the case, then I think this next maybe 3 episodes are going to be fully about this, I'm assuming.
Well, that's why I'm just like, I got to go back and see what my theory was about, because I broke this season down into 3 parts and 4 parts, I think.
You did. I remember that. Yeah.
I did break it down into 3 parts and 4 parts. First, second, third act. And then I think it was, I think I settled on that. But I think I did originally do 4 parts. So based on what I was saying about, I would expect this, I definitely feel like I'm about to probably get what I expect to happen for the last part.
Yeah, I got to go back and watch it too, because I can't remember what I was thinking to myself as you were going, but I couldn't remember if in my head I was saying,
Yeah, because I think I was saying that I would expect at this point where we are is for him to start to, which that hasn't really happened, like start to kind of get an idea of the system isn't all. I mean, we kind of got that in episode 9. I was saying that I would expect. I think I was saying between them episodes, I would expect him. We start to get a clue that the system isn't as everything is saying. Like there's a darkness to it. We got it in a different way than I thought we would, which is the guy saying it, like Kang saying that. He literally said that. So we got that. And then I was saying that I would hope that the sister would do something to his sister or something. She would be tied up in it some way. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Yeah. How many episodes are in this season? We definitely know 12.
Yeah, so we got 11 and 12. Yeah. Okay, so we got 2 more, not 3 more episodes. Okay, I can see that.
Yeah, I'm scared. Now, if this was if this was episode 12 and it ended that way, I'd be like, okay, that's cute. But the fact that it's not, I'm just like, this seems like an end of the season. This seems like the end of story arc 1. Sun Jin-woo getting stronger story arc complete. Like, we learned about the system. He's getting like that seemed like the end of an arc kind of scene. So it was just weird. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't want to say nothing besides the fact that I'm excited. I'm very excited.
So we're all caught up. So we will be back next Sunday at our regular time, 5:00, to talk about episode 11. I'm gonna watch it live on Twitch. I'm gonna try to be on time this week and watch it at 12:30, but sometimes I don't because it's hard to stream it at 12:30. Sometimes Crunchyroll be going through things. I guess too much traffic. So sometimes it don't work. So I've been waiting until later in the day to watch it just so I won't have those problems. But I'm gonna try for 12:30 this Saturday on Twitch, watching it live. So watch it with me. Y'all know.
All right.
What you was gonna say?
That when we're done with live, hang on, because we might chit chat about something for next week.
Okay. All right. Well, we will see y'all next week, and yeah, I'll catch y'all later. Don't forget to keep cute. Bye.